Hello, it's Phil. It's 9:13 p.m. on Saturday, July 19th, 2025. Here we go again with the yawning. Sorry. But this is an update about my dealings with Social Security and Medicare. And it looks like we've kind of come to an understanding. Looks like they've finally realized that I was serious about what I was saying about right now I don't want any more Social Security payments, and I don't want to be part of the Medicare community. I went to the Fredericksburg office, Social Security office, yesterday, the 18th, and I went in there and I talked to a gentleman that was working in it behind the counter, because last week I got a bill from Medicare for my Part B and another Part B extended that totaled $1,036 that I owed them by the 27th of this month. And this was after I told him for a month I don't want Medicare. I don't want it. I've actually for 2 years I've had health care through my job because I'm still working. I've been working for 2 years. And that's where part of this whole mess kind of started, was because I was working for the last 2 years, I wasn't really, the last year I wasn't really qualified to be getting Social Security payments at all. So I wound up I'm going to have to pay a whole lot of that back. So that's what started the ball rolling over a month ago about this whole thing about let's stop the payments. And as far as Medicare goes, just get me out of that too, because I'm really angry. Nothing I say is directed to people who work at these offices, because they don't make the rules. They're trying to help everybody. And there are people who need Social Security, and there are people who need Medicare. God bless them. I'm glad that the programs are there for those people who need them. And people in the offices are wonderful. They're just trying to work through this whole mess and do the best job for each person that comes in there to the office. But in my situation, I owed them a bunch of money, Social Security, and all my dealings with Medicare was done through the Social Security office, because they're kind of tied together, you know. And so 2 weeks ago I went down there and I made my first $801 payment to Social Security, because I wanted to show them that I'm going to pay them back the money. Right now it looks like I owe them probably just a little bit over $8,000 that I will pay them back in the next 10 months, hopefully. And while this is going on, depending on how they assess my Social Security, because I'll still be paying into that every 2 weeks, and there is also payments they will not be paying me, so they may be crediting those to the money that I owe. I don't know how this is going to work, but the Social Security situation is on its way to being mended. But last week I got a bill from Medicare for $1,036 or $1,038 for my Part B and my extended Part B, which was kind of crazy to me, because I had my health insurance at my job for 2 years, which takes care of all my Part B. It qualifies for Part B in itself. But I also was getting charged for Part B by Social Security, because they say, you know, Part A is free, but there's a Part B, a Part C, and a Part D that you got to pay for, or that you got to show that your insurance will take the place of, or you're going to get charged for it, you know. I never realized I could get charged $1,036 for Part B for Medicare, but I was never going to use it anyway. I was going to try to get out of it, as far as not use it, because I already have my own insurance. Anyway, long story short, I was covered by my job for Part B, and I was covered through Social Security because they told me when I tried to tell them, look, I want to stop paying for Part B, they said they made it sound really daunting about stopping paying for Part B. So I was getting charged like $103 a month for that. So I was paying for Part B in two ways. And here comes this $1,036 or $38 bill for my Part B and extended Part B from Medicare. Well, I fired off a letter to them last week because I got this notice last Saturday and I mailed the letter last Sunday. I mean, I just laid it all out to them. I said, look, I've been trying to stop the payments for Social Security because it's very clear I'm not ever going to escape having to pay this money back. So it's pointless to have this hanging over my head every year, I can't afford to have, a government agency coming into me and saying, you need to pay us back $15,000 every year. I can't have that. And so we stopped the Social Security. But this Medicare thing was really very bizarre because I was covered in two ways. Covered by my job for the last 2 years. Thank God I went ahead and paid for it. Oh, sorry. I was also covered by Social Security while I was getting Social Security. But yesterday, I went to the office, to the Fredericksburg Social Security office, and I got my little tag, and I sat down and talked to the gentleman, and he was the most business-like person I'd talked to. He must have had a full day of people. And he wasn't very cordial, you know what I mean? He was very businesslike. And I talked to him about what happened. And he looked into my records, and none of the people I'd ever talked to had gone through the whole verification procedure as far as all the questions they asked you, but this guy did. He went through every question, and there's a bunch of questions they asked to make sure that you are you, He even asked me, well, I won't tell you the question, but he asked me a question I hadn't been asking in years, and I sat there for a minute. I said, okay, because I had to think about one of my parents' original names, and it was I hadn't been on my mind in a long time. Anyway, it turns out that the Social Security was stopped. The payments were stopped, okay? He verified that. That was verified actually 3 weeks ago. But the most important thing was he says, yes, your Medicare B has been stopped. You will not be covered by Medicare B. I said, so this payment right here that they sent me, I don't have to pay this. He says, no, you don't, because you'll not be covered by Medicare B. You just need to know that. I said, okay, that's what we were after. Thank you very much. I said, we're good now, right? He said, yeah, you're good. And I walked out. I thanked him for working there, because if you think bank tellers don't get any appreciation, these people don't get no appreciation. Ain't nobody appreciates Social Security workers, and they don't appreciate Medicare workers, and they've got a bone to grind because they're never getting enough money, and they're never getting enough benefits, and they're always having to pay too much. And I never held it against them. I was always cordial. I actually, in the letter I sent last Sunday, I complimented this office because, and I mean, I'm not trying to kiss ass. I know a little bit of what these people face, and it can't be wonderful, But the bottom line is, it looks like Social Security and Medicare and me have come to an understanding. I still have about $8,000 worth of money I got to pay back to Social Security, which I'll do over the next 8 months or however long it takes, depending on what the amount of money is they say I owed him. I'm hoping maybe by the third payment or the fourth payment they go, you don't need to pay this anymore month at the same time and put the same $800 in. My next payment will be $802. The month after that, my next payment will be $803. That's how I'm going to keep track of the payments, so that when it gets to $810, I'll know that that's pretty much exactly what I owe. So anyway, we're coming to an understanding. Things have worked out, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm actually kind of exhausted because this was terrifying. Because you don't ever want to be on the bad side of the government or on the bad side of the law, because they hold all the cards. They really do. You don't want to be on their bad side. You want to always do what's necessary to keep them off your back. And sometimes that includes telling them you don't want something that they're offering. So I just have to take care of myself, not do stupid stuff, not go buy a motorcycle, not go take stupid risks. And that's okay, I can do that. But I just want to pass on that you can, if you're rational and you're logical and you're respectful, you can get a response from the government that you're seeking to get. And you just got to understand that you are responsible for whatever you've done that's put you in their crosshairs. So I am responsible for this money I owed him back. I'll pay it back, but there's no Social Security coming in. There should be no more assessments of money that I should owe them. And as far as Medicare goes, my own work insurance will cover me, so there shouldn't be anything coming from them. So we should be good. Am I 100% certain we're good? Of course not. But for now, we should be good, I mean, I might get another letter in a week saying, do you owe us this or whatever, and I'll go right back down to that office and I'll talk to somebody else. But for now, we're good. So anyway, I just thought I'd pass that on. And you know how I always end my videos. God's always with you. God will help you. You just got to ask Him. God, help me through this, So we've just got to keep our nose clean, pay our bills, do our job, and I got to get back to exercising because I've been dragging my ass on that. I've been real good at that. And that's not good for my health. So anyway, I just want to update you on the Social Security and the Medicare thing, and that it is working out. In the grand scheme of things, you would say, I deserve this or I deserve that. I don't say that. I say, I need my peace every day. That's what I need. Peace you can have right now. And some people would say, if you let God in your life, you'll have peace. That may be true, but a lot of that peace comes from your mental outlook on things and not accepting freebies that put other entities in control of your life. Because that's not a freebie. It's not free to accept money and then for them to have power over your life. So I may go back into Social Security when I'm 75. Who knows? I may go back into Medicare when I'm 75. Now, who knows? But for right now, for the next 5 years, and I'm 65 now, so it'll be 70. But for the next 5 years, I can't see going back into Social Security or Medicare at all. And hopefully I'll make enough money where it's not a problem. Hopefully I'll stay healthy enough where that's not a problem. But there's a way forward. It's not all doom and gloom. You just got to do the right thing, be respectful, be honest, and understand that in this life, nothing is free. Nothing is free. And there's a cost to everything. So are you prepared to accept the cost of having an entity in your life that can tell you how to live your life? I just wasn't ready for that. Maybe when I'm 70, I'll be ready for that. Maybe I'll be so sick that I won't have a choice. I hope not, but who knows? Anyway, it's getting better, and we appreciate the good Lord's help in it. We thank all the people at the Social Security Agency and the Medicare agency who read my letters and responded and acted. And we thank the people, wonderful people at our office, Fredericksburg Social Security office, for their help too. And we'll get them their money. It's going to take a couple of months. We're going to get them their money. And then we're going to just keep on trucking, man. That's what you do. You just keep on trucking, right? God's with you. Just ask for help to help you. Okay, folks? God bless you and have a great Sunday. And hopefully we'll see you on the next video. Hopefully it'll be a workout video because, boy, oh boy, I'm getting lazy in my old age. That ain't a good thing. Have a good one, folks. Peace.